Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Susanoo Oracle Think Tank deck profile for post Silverdust Blaze. With the release of the Silverdust Blaze booster pack, we have full support for the newest OTT Oracle Think Tank deck, being Susanoo, Supreme Heavenly Battle Deity. It's a really awesome deck that focuses on gaining different card abilities based on revealing cards from the top of your deck. Those cards actually having abilities when revealed as a card on the top of the deck, and then giving cards, including trigger abilities, to different units on the field after you use those cards. It's a new, different take that I'm definitely excited to, try out as a whole for this new Protect deck in the standard format, focusing on all of the majority of new units we received from the Silverdust Blaze booster pack. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for our grade 3s, I am running 4 Supreme Heavenly Battle Deity Susanoo, with this card having 2 Vanguard only skills, being for the Imaginary Gift Protect, like all Oracle Think Tank decks. When placed, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card from among them, put it on the top of your deck, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So with this card, you have the ability to set up all of your different triggers that you'll want to use for this card. And on Vanguard, once per turn, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, reveal 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them into your hand, and activate all of the trigger effects of the revealed cards. So with this card, if your soul has a grade 3, you reveal 3 cards instead of 2. So for just an easy Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, being able to reveal the top 2 cards of your deck and then put them into your hand. Activating any trigger abilities means that you can clear the way with the first ability for Susanoo, being able to put anything that's not a trigger on the bottom of your deck, and just having a better chance by having another grade 3 in its soul means that putting 3 cards instead and getting all of those is definitely the pressure we needed for Oracle Think Tank decks as a whole, relying on the drive trigger check, but also giving you hand consistency before you even go into your attack step and attacking with your units, while already having distributed powers and trigger abilities depending on what you reveal. It allows for early game damage to be taken, because then you have the chance of revealing a heal trigger, or getting that additional critical power, which this card has no other additional critical power but aside from relying on getting your trigger units. The biggest weakness would be obviously getting cards early game, drawing triggers instead of revealing them for these different card abilities, but it's the risk you take, and we wanted to max out the different number of Susanoo we run for the overall play style that this deck can do. For the backup grade 3, for the first main backup grade 3, I am running 4 Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu. From the deck, like I said, these units have abilities in the deck, so it's an auto ability from the deck. When revealed by a card effect, bind the top card of your deck, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 power and additional critical until end of turn. So along with the reveal, this just adds as an additional critical or trigger unit that you can use for your deck when you reveal it with your Battle Deity Susanoo. So having this card add to your hand could be the potential card you keep on the top of your deck, because if you reveal it, not only can you add it to your hand using Susanoo, but since it's still in the first step, your main phase, you can call this card to rearguard and then go into your attack step. So all the better for your setup. That's why I like to run max of this card as well for that easy setup. And on Vanguard or rear, when it attacks, discard a card from your hand, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 normal unit from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the top of your deck in any order. So more setup even before your drive check even begins, being able to set this up for your Susanoo or even your Amaterasu, because if Susanoo reveals cards for your setup, you can put the rest on the top of your deck in any order, and then go for even more triggers after you use Susanoo as effect. So a great unit to rely on your Vanguard circle to then ride Susanoo to have a grade 3 in the soul, or even just on the rear guard after you reveal it with Susanoo for the overall setup after having the plus 10,000 power and additional critical as well for your plays. And then I also was thinking of running the new grade 3 we received as a double rare in the Silverdust Blaze booster pack, but I decided to go for Evil Eye Princess Uriel instead as the last grade 3 for the deck. Running 3 grade 3s in total, because with the Imaginary Gift Protect, depending on if we go for Protect 1 or Protect 2, we'll get plenty of Protect markers, and with Evil Eye Princess Uriel being the perfect option for the backup on rearguard, when you look at your deck by an effect during your turn, you may soul charge 1, giving you more soul power for your Susanoo, because just that soul blast power with this card alone can take a lot of resources away. So being able to set that up, and also the pressure on Vanguard when this is a card attack hits, Counterblast 1 to draw 2 cards is just consistency if you do have to ride Evil Princess Uriel and then go into Susanoo from Uriel's spot as well. And that is it for the grade 3s. We'll now move on to the grade 2s. I run 4 of the Goddess of Running Water, Ichikishima. From the deck as well, when revealed by a card effect, bind the top card of your deck, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So with this, you have the option for another plus power. So if you reveal it and Amaterasu, you getting a plus 20,000 boost to your Vanguard with the additional critical if you do reveal Amaterasu. But just think of it as another trigger potential unit that you can place and use in the deck. And on rear, when placed, look at the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom of your deck, reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card is a normal unit, this unit gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So even if you, let's say, place Goddess of the Sun on the top of the deck, being able to reveal it with your Ichikishima means that you'll be able to bind the next top card and then also get the additional power for your Vanguard as well with this card. All the more stronger. It's why I like to run it at 4. It has a 9k boost, but with all the power you'll be giving to your Vanguard, it sometimes wants to make you go for Imaginary Gift Protect 2 as an added option, but that's up to the player preference at that point, depending on what their power choice will be. Because Ichikishima, if it is a normal unit, will get plus 10,000 until end of turn anyway. And then depending on your boost, could hit a good number of units on the field. And I also run 4 Diviner Kurokuzachi. With this one on Vanguard or rear, once per turn, Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck and put it into your hand, and activate all the trigger effects of the revealed card. If you reveal a normal unit, this unit gets plus 6 until end of turn. So with this card and Ichikishima all having power boost abilities, you have options to hit your opponent's Vanguard because both of these units are 9Ks, so they have a difficult time on their own hitting 10K base power units from 4 stacks alone, but being able to rely on Diviner Kurokuzachi for the trigger units even before it even drive checks means you could have a critical trigger potential even before this card attacked, and the fact that it works on Vanguard or rear as a once per turn Soul Blast means that building up for your Uriel as well for the Soul Charge gives you more options, because running 4 of this card means you will be going through this ability a lot as well. Since it's not a when placed effect, it's a once per turn discard and Soul Blast. And then to finish off the grade 2s, I also run 3 Diviner Yachi Matahiko. On rearguard, when an attack hits, if your hand has 5 or more cards, counterblast 1, reveal the top card of your deck, and if the revealed card is a unit card until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot call cards with the same unit type as the revealed card from his or her hand. So as long as you don't get any quick orders, which we're not running any in this deck, this card has great options for the unit type for that guard power. So even depending on the type of unit you reveal, it makes it all the better for the guard restriction, and you should have 5 or more cards in your hand a good amount of the times when you use this card. It's not as reliable as Kurokuzachi or Ichikishima. That's why I'm running just 3 of it in the deck, but still a good option to rely on for our grade 2 numbers. And that is it for the grade 2s. We'll now move on to the grade 1s. I run 4 Divine Sword Amino Murakumo. On Vanguard or rear, during your turn, if your cards from your deck were revealed by a card ability, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. And on Vanguard or rear, when placed, you lay the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 grade 3 from among them, put into your hand and shuffle your deck, and then discard if you added something. So just the more consistent way to add your main go-to card, being Susanoo, into your hand to use. Running 4 of it, it makes for a viable ride target as well, if need be, so you always have that option available to you to search for the grade 3. And even if you have Susanoo in your hand, being able to add, Amaterasu to your hand makes it all the better, just being able to search out those different grade 3s, which we run a good amount of in the deck also. And I also run 4 Diviner Muto. For being a common, this is a very, very good card in the deck. On rear, when placed, counterblast 1, put a normal unit from your drop zone on the top of your deck. If you put a card, this unit gets plus 15,000 power until end of turn. So even if you have to put a normal unit like Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu, or Ichikishima, you still have the benefit of revealing these cards and then getting the additional power boost once they're in the drop zone for using with Diviner Muto, and then just giving the plus 15,000 power for this recycle power makes it all the better to rely on the power boost you give Muto and the potential setup with these cards. And then lastly, for the grade 1s, I run 4 Circle Magus. Just another good ride option target on Vanguard or rear. When your drive check reveals a grade 2 or greater, you may put that card on the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw 1 card. Now, I thought of Oracle Guardian Gemini as another potential spot for this grade 1 spot, but you can either go for that, or if you have the Circle Magus, I also just like it as the ride target option when rode upon, counterblast 1, and you draw a card. You use counterblasts for Muto and also for your Yachi Matahiko. You have options just for all of the different cards to rely on as more of a draw power when it's just that one counterblast, and you'll only be riding over this unit one time. So a good option to go for sure with this deck, or even if you drive check something that doesn't have the additional bind ability with Circle Magus on the field for more draw power. And that was it for the grade 1s. Moving on to the grade 0s. As your starter, I found it very fitting to use the Solar Maiden Uzumi for the choice for the deck, since it was more of the noble lineup, just like Amaterasu and Susanoo for the lineup, but still sharing the same ability of when wrote upon, draw a card. If your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 1 or greater, put a quick shield ticket into your hand for the defensive plays you can do with the deck. For the trigger lineup, I decided to go with the 4 critical Divine Sword Kusanagi. I'm missing one more, waiting for it to come in the mail, so I have the 1 Weather Forecaster Mist as a placeholder. But it's just a good point for the reveal also, so you don't draw a trigger and then mix up the order you place with all your other cards. That's why I decided to go with the 12 critical for the pressure in this deck. So I'm also running the 4 Battle Sister Ginger and the 4 Oracle Neek for the 12 critical lineup. Immense pressure, especially with this deck, and then being able to gain all those additional abilities. You would only give the plus power with draw triggers. Criticals give the power and the critical to your Vanguard, or, you know, any unit when you reveal it. So all the better for sure when you use Susanoo for its Counterblast 1 Soul Blast ability. And lastly, I run 4 Battle Sister Brioche for the heal trigger spot, being the new heal trigger from the latest set. Also the easiest one to gain access to for people looking to build this deck. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll definitely be looking forward to working on other decks from the Silverdust Blaze set until some more support comes out from the later sets we'll be looking forward to at the end of the month. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.